Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next anime review for anime month of June slash birthday month. I get what keeps on saying. So the next one I'll be talking about is of a kind of it is a kind of a romantic comedy, but also bits of horror, but it's not really overall horror. But it is of the 2012 series Sankarea Undying Love. Like I said, the series was released in 2012. Quite a bit long ago, you know. So, but now, like I said, it's a romantic comedy, but with zombie in it though, because as our one of our main girl here, Rhea Sanka, which is Sanka Rhea, it's her name, but it's Rhea Sanka, if anyone knows. So, but getting into plot, which I mean, for character wise, there isn't that much. I mean, we have our two main characters, right? We have our main guy by the name of Chiharu. He's a high school student. He's a high school student, and he has this obsession with zombies. He likes horror because he has horror figurines, but basically he likes zombies more. And one of his biggest desires to have is a zombie girlfriend. And he lives with his dad, his grandfather, and his younger sister at the shrine because his dad is a monk, and so and we have, and so then he has this pet cat that's with him named Babu, and he gets hit by a car, and he likes his cat a lot. So what he decides is, what if I can bring him back, right? So he finds his old notebook that contains like a remedy or a potion for resurrection. So he takes his dead cat's body, takes it to like this abandoned hotel, and in the hotel where there's a bowling alley. But it's abandoned though. So he mixes up the ingredients, tries it on the cat, which it may appears not to work though, which I'll get more though. But while he's over there, he sees this girl who goes. It's like the same. It's the same school, which their school is divided because there's a side of the school is for just for guys, and the other girl is just for girls. So, but he sees a girl from the school, and by the name of Rhea Sanka. She is a very popular girl who's rich, but which get into her backstory though. But he sees her screaming into the well, like letting out her real feelings regarding about her dad, and he overhears it. She sees him, so they they get introduced to each other and trying to get to know each other, and then turns out that the potion actually works. The potion actually works. That the cat is brought back to life, but like the dad and the sister are not really entirely convinced that's him, despite the fact that he's the same size. He says the same. The name Boyo because he keeps on meowing the same sound. That sounds like Buyo or Baku or was the cat, right? So that's why. But I guess they're not entirely convinced that the cat got brought back to life though. And then with Rhea's backstory is that the reason why she goes over there, because she's a rich girl, but the thing is though, she's been living a sheltered life because of her father, who is so overly protected. He won't allow her to live a life, and not allowing her to interact with people, and also the fact that also, there's more to her with her dad because her dad is a creep because I mean it's an obsession, but yeah, every year for her birthday he always takes these naked pictures of her, which that is I'm like, yeah, I don't blame her for running away because not only he won't let her live a life though, but let alone take every year on her birthday take naked photos of her. Yeah, it's like your dad not only is a creep though, but he's a freaking pedo now. So I don't blame her for wanting to leave. And she has this bitch of a stepmother who used to work as a maid for her dad from back then, and she's playing out she's a bitch basically. She hates Rhea because she she she's the image like kind of like this in the spinning image of Rhea's mother. And we get to a backstory that when her father met her mother from back then when he was a student. She was a girl that was in a wheelchair, and the guy was originally a cold hard guy, but when we met her, he opened up and he wanted to marry her despite the fact it could tarnish the Sanka family name. But he married her, and then she died shortly after when Rhea was born. And since then, he has been so overly protective of her, not allowing her to do anything. And this overly, oh, this is for my love for you. He is so overly obsessed with her. I mean, yes, not only that nitpicks, but he does fencing. So in the big fencing room, there's a big picture, a portrait of him and her. Stuff like that, because yeah, because I think it was wife because his wife was in a wheelchair, so she couldn't do fencing in a wheelchair. So yeah, that's a picture of her when she was younger though. But it's a big picture on the ceiling in the fencing room, and he's just so obsessed with her. I'm like never. Yeah, so I wouldn't blame her for one because she she tried to make friends. Like there's this one girl she tried to make a friend with. She ended up spilling the beans to her, and then with her father, her servant over his servant overhears the butler or whatever, and he uses whatever he did, influence or whatever his higher powers does, higher ups, to make that friend basically move away from her to another place or city because of her. I'm like, well, and then the friend hates her now because of that. I'm like, it's not really her fault. She tried to tell, and because she wanted to be free and make friends though, but the dad is basically such a basically he's just an overprotective scumbag. And so yeah, we wouldn't blame her for wanting to leave that life. And that's why she's always sneaking out of the house and going over there. So, and she does basically kind of wants to die, so she takes a part of the potion that Chiharu made, and she drinks it, think it would kill her, but it didn't work though. But down to the point where she gets found out again. She tries to go up into this cliff because she overhears that her father is gonna do something to Chiharu. So she goes up this cliff trying to find him, and their father is there and tries to make her come back, and then she ends up one thing leads to another. She ends up falling off the cliff. She hits a sharp part of a stump, and she lands into the bed of flowers and she dies. But when his father is devastated, but Chiara realizes that the potion worked and she comes back as a zombie. She comes back to him, walking up to him with her intestines hanging out. And so they now that I'm a zombie, you can take care of me now. So he takes her back to her place, to his place in his room. And so he has to try to find ways to preserve her body, because since she's a walking corpse now, she will eventually start to decay and rot. So he has to find a way to preserve her. And one of the things that it keeps her basically in check, is because with Baku, he same thing with the cat, that there's a certain leaves from these certain flowers. They both can eat them and they can just maintain, because like eventually there's a part where she she's thinks she's tired though, but she freezes up though, right? She stiffens up and he tries to hide her. But eventually she awakens again, and she attacks um Chiaru, which bringing to another character. He has a cousin by the name of Ronko. He has a cousin who goes to the same school as him, and she runs a family restaurant, right? And so, and which things though she has feelings for, she does have feelings for him. Um, yeah, her cousin loves her own cousin. Yeah, I mean, but I'm not gonna get into that though. But yeah, she does have feelings for him, despite the fact that he's a moron though. But so there are certain things I've seen in shows that where the girl falls in love with the moron. And also as for the English dub cast, I mean, especially the voice of Ronco is voiced by Jamie Marquis, which who known for voicing Rhea Scrimmery from High School DD. She's voiced in a lot of work, but a lot if anyone knows High School DD, that's the role that people remember her most from voicing of. Yeah, so Ronco is voiced by Jamie Marquis, Rhea Scrimmery from High School DD. And the voice of Chiaru is Aaron Dismunk. I remember he was a voice of what was it, Kyo and Cat Planet Cuties. And Rhea is voiced by Tia Bowler, which who I also met, same with Jamie Marquis. I think that did the voice of Chiho from one of my favorites, Devil's a Part Timer. I think so. Tia Bowler. I think that was her. Yes. So you get some notable voice cast, and also the voice of Chiharu's little sister Mero is voiced by Felicia Angeli, who voiced also from Devil's a Part Timer as Emiyusa, aka Amelia the Hero. Some recognizable voice dubs cast in the English of this. So, but anyway, Ray attacks her, and it's kind of like some of her her zombie part kind of kicks in, but she regains herself, and so they give the leaves to her to keep her the way she is, so that it's the only thing that she eats. And so, but his family thinks, oh, she's a girl. He just moves in. So they do not know he's a zombie. She's a zombie, despite the fact that she's pale as a ghost and with red eyes. And she feel if they touch her, she's cold as ice. So, and so for then on, there's and from then on, Rhea, she wants to go out and do things. The things that she was never be able to do because of her father. She wants to experience life. Go shopping and just hanging by the river, just walking, just she want be of the life of being free. Just being free because of just being held by the hands of her father. So she really wants to just live, try to just experience a bit of the taste of that life. And the point where the dad finds where she is, and when they're at the shopping mall, um, captures him. Well, they try to take her away, but ends up taking Chiaro instead. And so he gets brought to the place, and he is shown all these pictures, and yeah, which he says that her dad is a creep. Yes, I do agree. I do agree with that. Talks with a bitchy stepmother. We get the flashback back when she was a young maid, and how the father met the mother, died, and he remarried her. But the dad doesn't give her the stepmother the time of day at all. She's just ignored, and she despises the daughter because she's like resembles the image of of Ria's mom. And so he brought back to the father, and for hey, let's have a fight, fencing, right? And then the Chiara just lays right into him, just not giving her the chance to live life, and because you can't let go of the love of your wife because because Rhea looks like her, that's why you can never let her go. And the dad stabs him through, but he doesn't feel pain because he got a little bit of Rhea's well, zombies don't feel pain, right? He got a little bit of that because there was an earlier he got thrown back, he got a wound on his arm, and she licked the wound, so that kind of infected him for a little bit of immunity and not feeling pain, but eventually that wears off though. So, but sorry, but she comes storming in wearing this bunny outfit because the maze just captures her and puts her in these outfits. And Chiro's like, "Oh, a zombie bunny girl." That's one of the images of his dreams. Is a zombie bunny girl, including also a zombie nurse as well, which he wears that outfit after when he gets brought back home. And so her dad vows to get all the best doctors in the world, trying to find a cure for her. So he gets on a plane, flies to I think America to find a cure for her to I guess bring her back to, well, wait, maybe just bring her back to life. And he allows Chiaro to have Rhea stay at his home. So he gives him the permission for her to stay at his place until then. But like Rhea, like she did realize, she doesn't have that long to go since she's just going to be end up rotting away though. So she'll just enjoy whatever life she has left. And also like there was a moment where she got to, because she wanted to experience fireworks, and so she now since it got canceled, so they decided to have a little fireworks show at their place. And Ronco tells Rhea asked about Ronco about her feelings towards Chiaro, and she goes and says, "Yeah, I love him, and you." So they're both rivals fighting over him, and we do get a flashback to Ronco back when she was a kid, when she first met him. She does develop feelings from over time, despite the fact that he's a kid that just didn't want to go out and do things outdoors. He just wanted to be stuck in his house watching zombie films. Although there was a moment I did like in the beginning of the first episode, where he has like almost like in a dream, in a sort of way. He's wearing the outfit that Shaun had, in Shaun of the Dead. His work outfit, the white shirt, the red tie, even has the red stain from the pen from Shaun of the Dead, right? And he's carrying the croquet mallet, the croquet, the cricket bat, the cricket bat. So that was funny because he's wearing the outfit from Shaun of the Dead. So that was a nice reference because it's a zombie film, of course. So that was a nice image because it's Shaun of the Dead, because I love Shaun of the Dead. And he does have other figurines on his glass case of like from other horror icons like Jason, Ghostface, the Freddy Krueger glove, the hockey mask. The classics. A Chucky doll too. And so they both have their little fireworks show, and then afterwards there's another episode where it's basically the last episode is told from Baku's point of view, and then it ends with on a cliffhanger, where this girl comes in, where she has the leaves that she eats too, like same thing that Baku and Rhea feast from. So it ends on a cliffhanger. This other undead girl who comes in. So we'll never know, because I haven't read the manga. There's more to it in the manga though, but I haven't read the manga yet still though, but leaving on a cliffhanger like that, where there's this girl who probably is this other undead girl who comes along, and so because she has like these kind of like a shackle on her wrist, and she's carrying the leaves that the cat and the girl eats from. So it's another undead girl, but we don't know who. If you haven't read the manga, you're just watching just a series. You don't know who she is, and there hasn't been no season 2 since then, because it's been 2012 and it's been over a decade. So there's no chance of that happens. So once again, as always a problem with me with cliffhangers. Like, I always hate when they leave on a cliffhanger and there's no sequel or follow up. That happens a lot of times in series I watch. That ends on a cliffhanger and there's no season 2 or a follow up afterwards. It just leaves like that just to leave you guessing. So, but Sankarea, Undying Love. So as for the animation, I think I think it was fine. I do like some of the filter changes that they do with the background. Like there's a couple things where it's filtered blood red, where Chio is standing, and I do like some of the filter changes like those. But as for the characters, I would probably say yeah, the best character is probably maybe people could say Chiaru is he's kind of maybe say he's kind of a bland character or just a generic romantic comedy lead but because the thing is the difference because he likes zombie stuff and eventually he does gets his dream girl. He does probably get a zombie girlfriend. And as for Rhea, I mean, kind of you feel bad for her because of everything what her father has done, and just not only that he's a freaking pedo because he likes taking pictures, naked pictures of her every year on her birthday. I'm like, yeah, your dad let alone such a creep. Ugh. Even when she in her teens, and she didn't want to do that no more. Yeah, the stepmother is a bitch. That's basically what she was made out to be. Not giving a damn. Hates the daughter. Doesn't give a shit about her. And as for Ronco, I mean, well, I do like Jamie Marquis who does a voice though, but Ronco, I think she was an okay character. She was meant to be as another rival for the love interest. Have a love another one of those love triangles. Fighting over the guy that they like, and I mean, she was an okay character. I never hated Ronco, but so it does have a little bit of gore. I mean, when the first time when Rhea dies, when she is reanimated, her intestines are hanging out. So it does have a little bit of blood to it though, to the effect. But overall, yeah, Sankarea, Undying Love, I think was a fine series. It was a decent series. Didn't overly love it, but I thought it was overall a decent series. Decent. It wasn't great, but I thought because for stuff like zombie animes, I mean, High School of the Dead will always be number one for me. To me, High School of the Dead will always be number one. I mean, the other ones there was like Zom 100. I thought that was a fun series. Zom 100. Um, Other ones. I'm sure there's more though, but Zombieland Saga. That's right, Zombieland Saga with the girls who were reborn and as the singing. Yeah, I like that series too. But High School of Dead will always be number one for me. So, but this is more of a romantic comedy, more than just straight up horror though. So, but I thought I thought Sanko Rhea Undying Love. I thought it was a decent series. So that's that on Sankarea Undying Love. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next more for anime month, and we'll see you next time. Later.